Hi, I'm Bob Voss, also known as New Business Bob. Welcome to the New Business Bob Show. As you can see right here, we have a guest with us today, and we're going to be talking about something that is really critical, not only for your personal life, but your business life as well. It's an issue that a lot of people starting businesses are going to be concerned about and need to deal with, and that involves credit. We have with us John Mackey, who runs a business called Master Credit Solution. And John is an expert when it comes to restoring not only your personal credit, but your business credit and all of that stuff. So John's here to answer a bunch of questions. John, welcome to the show. Before we get started, why don't you just give us a little background on yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. My name is John Mackey, and I own two companies, one called Master Credit Solutions and the other called U.S. Credit Project. Now, U.S. Credit Project is for business credit, but in conjunction with that is Master Credit Solutions. And that is and was designed as a company to teach credit, talk about credit restoration, and to deal with debt collectors. And we know we love those debt collectors. I started in real estate in 1987, and I was a realtor for 22 years. In conjunction with that, I did mortgages for 10 of those years. In 2006 or 7, I was part of the crash. And as a result, my credit tanked also. Now, the business that I did with real estate and mortgages, most of the time dealt with people that had credit issues. So I've been working with credit issues since about 1987.
So you've been doing this a long time, so you must know a lot about credit. Is there anything you don't know about credit?
Well, challenge me. Let's find out.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you some questions because
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions, especially in the class I teach, about credit.
Right.
And the first question always is, what the heck is a credit score anyway? And then like taking it to the next level, how is a credit score determined? Maybe that could be the starting point for you. So what is a credit score?
Well, first of all, a credit score, you don't have a credit score. You've got at least 3. Now, if you're talking about for a mortgage or for, specifically a home loan, they're going to take a look at your 3 credit scores, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax.
And those are companies. Those are the only 3 companies that track people's credit.
No.
Oh, there's a lot of them out there.
Oh, let's if we want to get into that, it's a whole other topic.
But those are the big 3,
But
right?
those are the big 3.
Okay.
There is one other one that some companies use called Innovis.
Okay.
INNOVIN or INS. Anyway, so there you've got the big 3. When we talk about a credit score, typically we're looking at the mid score. So it's going to be the middle score. The score is based on a derivative that it's an algorithm that FICO, F-I-C-O, the Fair Isaac Corporation, developed many years ago to allow creditors to determine what person or whether they will default on a loan. What's the probability? So the higher your score goes, the better the chances of you getting a loan or getting better deals, for example, on car insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance.
Let's go back to those 3 credit companies, though. You said Experian. What were the other 2?
Equifax and TransUnion.
And I know that like Experian right now is running a whole bunch of commercials and how great a high credit score is and everything.
Right.
Are they the biggest?
They are the biggest.
They are the
They
biggest.
are the biggest.
So when you check your credit score, are you checking it at one of those 3, or are you checking it at a compilation?
You've got a variety of sources. Now, there's only 2 major sources that you can use for your credit score. One is a loan company. Typically, you don't want to use that to check because every time you do, your score drops.
Okay.
The other one is called Annual Credit Report. On there, you can apply for your credit report. Now, with that said, there is no credit score attached with the official one.
Okay.
Now, there is one you can go to. It's called creditkarma.com. I don't own it. I'm not plugging it. Originally, it was developed, and they only gave you a TransUnion score. Now they give you a TransUnion and a Equifax score. However, with the largest one looming out there that they're not giving you, you don't know.
Okay, so as an example, I have a Bank of America credit card, and they
Correct.
started doing this. I'm sorry, Capital One was a credit card, and now they said every month I get an email saying check your credit score through Capital One, and I've done that, so I know what my credit
Okay.
score is. And you'd advise everybody to know what their credit score is, wouldn't you?
Yes, I do. And I also have the caveat here that just because they're giving you a credit score, we don't know what kind of a score that is. There's over 100 models out there.
Okay.
For example, there's a model for the mortgage industry. There's a model for the automobile industry. There's a model for the insurance industry.
So if I go to the Capital One thing and it says my credit score is 730, it may not really be 730.
You are correct.
And of that, if I'm going through Capital One, how do I know where they're getting the information? Do I know where they're getting the information?
I'd have to take a look at the credit report. Excuse me, but yeah.
I don't even get a credit report. I just get a number. That's all you get when you check your
But
credit.
where are they pulling it from? Are
I
they
don't
pulling
know.
it from Experian? Here's the problem. A creditor, number one, does not have to report. Number two, if they choose to report, they don't have to report to all three. They could report to one or to two or to all three. Right now, for example, there's a big issue with medical
Sure.
debt and medical collections. Now, typically, it's not the doctor that puts that on; it's a collection agency that puts that
Okay.
on. But they'll only put it on one bureau. Okay, you don't know which one it is. So, for example, I've seen scores as high as 703 on one person, 703, 620, 610.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
so if they pulled it off the one with the 703, you look golden.
If you
If
pull
you-
up the one with
all
610,
three,
you really
You
suck.
get the mid score of 620, you're not
Okay.
going to get a loan.
So this is, all honesty, this is a lot more complicated than most people think, right? And
Yes.
just knowing your number doesn't mean that number is A, accurate, or B, or that people are saying
Or
the
what it's
exact
being
same,
used
or
for.
what it's being
Because
used
the
for.
car industry wants a report that's weighted for the car industry. They
Oh.
want to know if you're paying your car payments. They don't necessarily care as much about your home loan,
Okay.
or anything else.
Let me ask you this: if you agree that everybody should track their own credit score, right?
Yes.
What's your best advice for somebody to track their credit score? Where should they go to find that credit score?
My choice would be to go to creditkarma.com. Because now you're going to get two fairly accurate credit scores.
Okay, so you're not just getting one anymore, you're getting two.
two.
So your best advice is everybody should go to creditkarma.com, and they're not a sponsor. Maybe they should be. They're not a sponsor right now,
No,
but they
correct.
can go there and get their credit score. So that's step
Correct.
number one, right?
Correct.
Okay, we're going to come back to it with talk about a few more things. That's it for this episode of New Business Bob. John's going to be staying with us, and we're going to do some more videos all dealing with credit. Thanks for watching this show.